Well, I'm up here in Connecticut. Good drive this morning. About 4 hours. Right through the Bronx, East Bronx, right up through New York. Not even a problem. Um, I got to looking once I loosened all the tarps up. They didn't put any plastic under this. And there's not a lot of snow here, but where I got to pull the tarps is patchy. So I don't know. We'll see. And I'll set the camera up and you can see why uh, not putting 39 cents worth of plastic on these tarps is ridiculous. about that, huh? Nice 60 degrees down here. I get around, don't I? Columbia, South Carolina. Got me some coffee. Because nothing runs on Dunkin'. I don't know. I don't know where to start. It's been a little crazy. I got unloaded up there in Connecticut, and it was a cluster. I've delivered there before. The unloader guy, I won't say what he is. I'll just leave it at that. He likes to yell at people. He won't yell at me, and he won't yell at the other drivers because A, we won't take it. But it's like you bother him for anything. Even when he signed my BOL, I asked if he'd sign the bill of lading, and he's like, well, I don't have a pen. So I gave him a pen. He just put this thing on there. So, you know, on my paperwork when I send it in, it says who signed the bill of lading, and I put in there, I don't have a clue. And I underlined his name and I put a question mark because I don't know what it is. It's just, it's what it is I don't have time for you, truck driver, get out of here. Like you never got the tarps off, as you can see in the video. And once I drug them outside and rolled them up, I left one on each side of the door. And I pulled the trailer out and I throw one in each box. I don't drag him in the bay. I don't mess with that. So I pulled the trailer out, plenty of room for him to get around with his forklift and his other things. And I'm on the driver's side putting one of the tarps in, and I come around the passenger side, and he had ran over my tarp with the forklift. And then they're digging the glass racks out with a snow shovel, and they're just piling it all on the tarp, intentionally doing that. So I shut up. I would not take that if I did not work for Maverick Transportation. Would not have taken that for a minute. But you know, you represent who you work for. So I just shut up and did my job and got out of there. And I rolled down, got across the GW, and I had Google Maps up. And I need you to understand, I don't use Google Maps by itself. It is not a standalone product for me at all. I will use it in conjunction with my truck GPS. Google Maps is made for cars. They don't care about 12-ton bridges. They don't care about places that you cannot take a 48-foot trailer or a 53 or a semi at all. It don't care. It's going to send you from here to there. And when I crossed the GW, it said this routing will save you 41 minutes due to an auto crash. And I look and I'm like, holy cow. Well, I'm already stopped in traffic. It wasn't bad. It was just a momentary stop. So I zoomed in on my GPS or zoomed out, and I compared the routing, and it said to go up to 287. I'm like, yeah, I'll do the 287 all day. So I took the 287 bypass around, and it was 65 mile an hour all the way. So it saved me 41 minutes. I rolled into Carlisle, 5 minutes left on my clock. I got in there, got my paperwork here, and I verified my bill of lading there. They're having computer problems, so they're handwriting and using stuff with a copier. But what kind of threw me is that right there. Let me get it. Racks of glass. You can't put racks on a double drop. I'm sure there's a way you could do that, really. They just sit in there and you pick them off with a forklift, but we don't. So it was just an error of them writing it in, because I had already verified my bill of lading STOS numbers, as I always do. Always. And I don't remember if I told the story of when I was down in Houston and they put crated glass on a step deck, and it was supposed to be open glass on a double drop. And the whole difference is the fact of getting them off. They lifted them off with a forklift, and when they had the height difference in the step deck, the forklift would just kind of go gink, and it couldn't pick the glass off the trailer. It took me 28 hours to get the glass off. They had True Light come in. Anyhow, so I get my load all ready. I got nothing left on the clock, so I'm going to go ahead and do a 34 there. Went ahead and went out in town, got a shower, was going to get up in the morning, do laundry to get my 34 done. And I'm getting some coffee. And I look at the Weather Channel, and you see this monster coming. So I grabbed up and looked at the maps and the weather forecasts, and I got to go through 77, 81, and of course, the mountains and all that. Fancy Gap, massive, big climb, and it's a very steep going down, and they're supposed to get 16 inches of snow there Sunday night. So I'll still be in Carlisle then. I wanted to leave about Sunday 1 a.m. I think, and I just decided I'm going to get done with my rest break, and then I'm going to get the trailer and I'm going to roll. So I rolled over to the plant, grabbed the trailer, did the pre-trip on it again, hooked up to it, rolled out. You have to scale at the nearest Catskill, so I've got to go 5 miles north to hit the Catskill to come 5 miles back south, 10 miles out of route. I understand that. If you're overweight, they don't want you to go scale 200 miles away. I get it. And it was a great roll all the way down here. I didn't have any problem getting down here. Ran into some rain. Last night it rained really hard, which is cool because the tarp was literally white with salt. I mean, it was the color of this coffee cup. And of course, when you're untarping, you're going to get that all over you. It rained, washed it all off. There's like a salt pit here now where Maverick was sitting. Pulled into this Pilot Flying J, and I go in, and the first thing I see is a sign on the door that says no showers. They have no, their dryers are broke. And the one gal yesterday, she took and washed them and then hauled them down to another truck stop on the other side of the highway and ran them through their dryers and got them dry. These guys have no intention of doing that. So I rolled over to that one, and they don't have laundry here either. Good old Pilot Flying J. So I go over there, and their showers were nasty. Oh, I'm good. I'm glad I had. I go in there and there's towels in there, and she's like, "Well, the cleanup person will be coming here later." And I'm like, "Oh, all right, So I just kind of kept away from everything, and I reach around, turn the shower on, and the water's not going down. So I take my shower thong, and it's just a big wad of hair laying on top of the shower drain. I mean, you just would not believe this place. It was a good shower. I mean, the water was nice and hot, and I got clean. I just didn't touch anything. I wanted a body condom when I walked in that place. But it's, good old Flying J. But yeah, other than that, I had another delay yesterday coming down. I was able to miss with Google Maps. Truck was sitting on the side of the road, broke down, and somebody decided to go underneath of it with a car. I'm sure that was not a good outcome. So, 41 minutes there in New York and 12 minutes here, coming down this way. It saved me good time running the two together, but I won't use Google Maps as standalone. It just doesn't work. I wish Google would come out with a trucking GPS because they have so much more information and they're so much more accurate than, you would think Rand McNally makes all the maps in the world. They'd be accurate. This video is running long. I'm going to finish my 34 here, roll down to Orlando. I was told if I got there on a Monday, they would probably get me unloaded. Another driver says, yeah, I don't know. But you know what? It's going to be on their property. If I want to drop the trailer and go somewhere, I'll do that. It is what it is. Anyhow, post your comments and questions below. Another good week. 2,314 miles. 30 miles less than last week. I'm just failing at this. 34.14 and 34.44 was the last. 32.14, 34.44. I think. I don't know. 6,600 miles or something like that in the past 2 weeks. That's doing good. I haven't looked to see where I'm at on the PFP board because it really will correct itself come Monday. It'll be updated. But other than that, I'll let you watch the untarp video. I'm trying to make it silent because I threw out some colorful metaphors that I don't like to do on the videos because you don't know who's watching. But this tarp was extremely old, which makes it extremely stiff. It makes it 1, 2, 3, fifth MPFP. So out of 37 drivers, I'll take that. Like I said, as long as I'm in the 6 cents, I'm okay. Without no plastic and that stiff of a tarp, you'll see how hard this was to get off. This is one of the hardest tarps I've ever had to get off in 2 years. The rear one had no plastic. It came off a lot easier. The one with the racks was a steel tarp, which is a very large tarp. And I had to crawl under it to get it off. Could not get it off, would not slide over those pipes that are on top of the glass racks, which you can see a picture of. Look for the green racks in the picture and you'll see what I'm talking about. But Orlando, here we come.